Otis alcoholic.
Hey, Otis.
Yeah. They still been up here, spoke about 6-7 times, and still ain't got used to getting in front of them. I guess you never will. And well, I was introduced to Alcoholics Anonymous by my ex-wife, and I'm grateful for her. That was my third wife. She was an alcoholic, and but when I was raised up right there in Hope County, and then when I moved over there to Shannon at county line, my mama never drank nothing, and my daddy drank, and then he would stay gone during the weekends, and I always wondered why. And then as I grew up, I figured out he was doing substance and staying away on the weekends. And so as I got older, I went to East Hope Elementary, then I went to the West Hope Elementary and Rayford Middle School, and then I went to Upchurch. I left Upchurch, went to Hope High, and that's when I started falling in. I started mixing in with the crowd. I always was the quiet type, never mess around nobody, stay alone, always scared to talk to people. And so I got introduced to weed, and then one day I got drunk over at the county line. They sold them 12-ounce cans, ODs for 50 cents. And so that's what me and my friend Boots, he stayed right across the road. And so one day I got drunk down there, and I don't know how I got home. And all I know when I got home, I had throw up all on me, and I was feeling good and laughing and grinning about it. And then I was eating a lot, and then me and him would sneak around and smoke weed. And so once we go to school, and that's how I started skipping school. If you had some weed or alcohol, you get a ride from school, and you could leave. And I always liked to play baseball, and I played recreation, played for the school. But then I got introduced to some other substance when I met this lady, this girl, and she had 2 kids for me, and I got introduced to a substance. And her friend told me if she would stay home if I would do it with her. And I thought about it, and then that's what I did, and started doing it with her, and it got worse. And she didn't stay home, and I didn't stay home either. And her mama was watching the kids, and so the more that would give me I could drink more. I'd stay up longer, because I would drink. When I first started drinking, I would drink when I got about 18, something like that. I would drink, and then I would I know how to stop, because I'll be around a crowd and I ain't trust people. And so I'll just chill out. And then when I got that substance, like I stayed, I wanted to drink all the time. And so separated from her, and I met my first wife. And so their grandma got my kids. My son's 22 and my daughter's 19. Father's Day of this year is the first time I got a chance to pick her up and talk to her in 6 years. And that was a privilege, I went and got her and my son, we went out to eat, and we spent all day together. And, when I picked up, and she smelled like weed and stuff, but I wanted to say something, but I didn't know how to say nothing. And then as I picked up, and she would still smell like it, but I talked to my sponsor about it, and I talked to my sponsor about it, and he told me, and so I would just let it go for a while. Don't say nothing right now, and so I didn't, and then and it hurt me, because I see her, and she know what her mama been through, and I've been through, and the day I still talk to her, I just don't want to be around that stuff no more today. So I best talk to her on the phone, unless she's not drinking or smoking, whatever she does. I best just stay away from it, because I can't. Today I can't stand it. I don't want to be around it. And I stopped even going to my mama's, because my brother-in-law was drinking, and my mama asked me why, and I told her. And And my daddy, he'd like smoke weed up on the carport and drink. And they wouldn't do it when I come down. They hide it now when they know I'm coming because they want me to come around today. Used to, I wouldn't want me to come over there at all. I would nod out, go to sleep, and then let me rewind to something. So I met my first wife, and we got married. She was good. She was good. She loved me, and so when my granddaddy died, that's who I called my daddy, and I loved him more than I loved anything in the world. You know, and then I had straightened up, and then when he died, it's like I didn't care about the world, I didn't care about me, didn't care about nothing else. I had a house, had anything I wanted, and I didn't care no more. I hated God, and then then me and her separated. She left me. I got custody of my son, and I had him to November 2014, about the 10th of that Monday. I called her and I asked her, I never would talk to her. The only way we would communicate is through my mama or my sister where she can see him. And I called her, asked her, I said, you take care of Dory? And I said, I need to go get some help. And I already been to detox about 8-9 times. And each time I went, I thought I was well, I'd get out. And I start back drinking wine, and then I trying to hide it, but I couldn't hide it. I'll go back to drinking beer. I love to drink beer, natural ice 40. That's about all I drunk. And so it went on, but I called her that week actually to keep doing, and she was surprised that I called her. I said I need to go get some help, and I needed help. So I drug around. I worked that week, and then that Thursday, it was a Thursday night. I got on my knees and I prayed to God, I need help. I had a 40 right there beside of me. And I had one more pill left and I snorted it. And then I called my ex-wife, me and her still married, my third wife, to come and get me. She said she went to the car. Now she already took me to detox about 8 or 9 times. I come here 2012. And so she went to a car and wouldn't even come and get me. Then her aunt was there and she told her, said, you need to go get him. He never asked you to take him nowhere, if you go get help. So she got in the car, she come and got me. And when she backed, only thing I remember when she backed up, that's all I remember. Then when I got when I woke up, it was 2 weeks later. They said when I got the 401 right there in Rayford going to detox, I had stopped breathing. I had OD'd. And so when I came through and stuff, and I was walking around at the bottom, at another room, I was walking around and the old man came with the tennis balls on the front of it, and I said, Lord, if I could just get out of here. And then when I went to the safe house, I didn't want to leave the hospital, I wanted to go to detox. They said I had already detoxed, so. And talked to Mark and stuff. Mark asked was I willing to go to the lift. I said, yes, sir. And he asked me, he didn't ask me before. It was Robert asked me before. That was 2012. Back then when I came in 2012, I just come from my family. I didn't come from me. Because I did the 28 days, but I was drunk when I left here. And the same lady that I was married to, my third wife, she come and got me, and I was drunk when I left from here. I was drinking about 2 or 3 weeks later, drinking wine, trying to hide it, and went back doing sheetrock, hanging around the same crowd. I got a sponsor. Let's see. Yep, got a sponsor named Bill Duncan in Red Springs, and he come pick me up twice to go to a meeting. Because my ex-wife wouldn't let me drive. And so that's why I told him, I said, well, she said, it'd be all right, I can drive. I'll drive on up there. So when I started driving, I believe 2 times I drove up there, I stopped and got a beer about the 4th or 5th meeting. I got a beer. And I was sitting beside, I knew you could smell it, them sparkles. That's what I had drunk. And them things strong. And I knew he could smell it. You could smoke in that meat. I don't know if you could smoke today, but back then you could smoke in there. And so when I came for my family. That's all I came for. I thought everything was all right, but it wasn't with me. They was proud of me, patting me on my shoulder and all of that, talking about how good I'm doing. And the whole time I was just drinking, hiding it. And so that's why I said forget it. I just started back doing the same thing again, doing what I'm doing. And I left. I moved back in with Mama. And then, always go to Mama if you can't go nowhere else. And my Mama loved me. And so I fast forward back to when I was in the hospital. I went to the safe house, Albemarle. I stayed there 2 weeks, and the man over the house, he said, "What they do? Forget about you?" I said, "I don't care how long I stay here." I said, "I got to do this. I'm just going to any length." And so I came here I stayed there 2 weeks, and they had me in bed, and I came, and I had Robert. He was my counselor again. Because the first time I did my fifth step, we did it out there in the gazebo, and it wasn't no truth to it. It was all lies. And now the drinking part and the drugging part wasn't no lies, but the other parts was lies. And so when I came in this time, and Mark and Robert we was back there in Robert's office, and he said, Mark said, "You willing to go there and live?" I said, "Yes, sir." And Robert was talking, and then Mark said, "I want him. Let me have him." Robert said, "Nah, I'm going to keep him." And so, I can't hardly read and write, but I'm learning a lot now since I got in recovery. I read a whole lot more than I ever read in my life, even all the way through school. And so Robert said I didn't have to write out my fifth step or my first step, and I could just talk it. And I had Robbie for a temporary sponsor while I was in here. He took time out. God bless him today. He's still sober. And he took time out and helped me when all the other fellas out there playing horseshoes and shooting ball. He took time out and he helped me and then late at night he'd do his work. And he'd have me write it down. If it was wrong, he'll read it and mark through it. And I redo it. And I went to any length. The first time when I came, them little yellow folders, I didn't write down nothing. I drawed on some of the pages in the back. And but the 2014 when I came, I had over a book and a half of notes, and I drawed out like Mr. Hurl draw out on the board, and Pat Hill would draw it out on the board. He was director then, and I wrote all that down and drawed it out the best of my ability. And so I came in here. I did my fifth step. I was sitting right there. I did it with Clint, and when I did it, I did it to the fullest. We prayed, and that's what I started. I forgave God and loved God again, and that was my whole problem. I hated God all my life. That I even hated myself, and I started loving God. When I left out of here, I felt like everything was just lifted off my shoulders, and I thank Clint every day, and he's my friend today, best friend. I can call him anytime. If I can't get him, I leave him a message. He'll call me back after a while. And this program is great. What they have done for me. And so when I left, I went to Bethesda. I stayed there 3 days shy of 13 months, and they said I could stay there 6 more months. But I got they gave me a proposition where I could move to one of the Samaritan house up in Southern Pines. They had just opened it up. And Barry, me and him moved in. It was my roommate. I stayed there almost a year, and I took my wheel back and just moved my stuff out slowly and moved up there in Pine Bluff with a girl. And we didn't stay together, I don't believe, quite a year. And then she started using. And then I would still go to my meetings, but I would stay gone from home all the time working. And she was getting high, and I knew I couldn't be around it no more. And so I called Barry, and they opened a new house over there at Carolina Street by the water building. And that was in January. He said, "I got we opened a new house. You willing to move in over there?" I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "When you moving?" I said, "Today." He said, "I'll call you back in an hour." He called me back less than 5 minutes. And he said, "How long before you move over there?" I said, "I'm going up there and talk to the supervisor right now." And they even give me the truck, a work truck, I could go get all my stuff. Because, my work knows all my situations. Today I ain't ashamed I'm an alcoholic and did drugs. The day I talked to other people and, share it. Because, I always thought I was happy when I was out there getting high. I didn't. I was just miserable. That was just a mask I was wearing as I was getting high. But when I sobered up that next day, I would think about all them things back over again. And I go back getting high, doing the same thing again, and killing myself. And so I stayed in the recovery home about almost over 3 years, I think. And I'm grateful for the Bethesda House, Samaritan houses, because glad they have a place for us to go to when we get out. Because I know if I'd have went back home, I'd have died. Because when I came here, I was married, and my wife was in the divorce, divorcing me at the same time. And I probably could have went home and worked it out, but I wanted to live. If I wanted to live, I had to stay up here. If I wanted to die, I'd go home. And I chose to live. And this month, the 14th, I have 4 years. And, this program, it did a lot for me. I'm very grateful for my sponsor, my friends I have, the friends I can call friends today. Because when I was in that hospital and I laid down, there's none of them boys come and see me. My family was up there praying. And my uncle would show me pictures. I go to his church. I've been up there in this church, been there twice. And he asked, was I ashamed of it? I said, no. He would call me up there and tell him all about it and what I went through in drugs. I still cry about that thing today. If it weren't for God, I wouldn't be here, wouldn't be standing here today. And I left I got February the 20th. I ain't never had a license, never in my life. I'm having about 22 tickets driving with no license, 3 DWI revolt license, and I was standing at Bethesda House, and that's where I was trying to get them, and it cost a lot of money to get them, and I got them. Let's see, February the 28th. It'll be 3 years I ever had a license ever in my life. I'm 40 years old. I'm grateful for that picture today. I can get around honest, I have run into roadblocks, and first time I did it, I said, oh shoot, I was going to turn around. It dawned on me, I got a license now. I don't have to do that today. Now let's see. I got my license. I got a good job. I started February 2015, and then next year March would be 4 years I've been on my job, and it ain't the money I made today. It's the surroundings, and I'm happy, and I can go to my meetings. I could leave they let me leave my job. Sometimes I have got ill and got if I don't pray that morning, I'll be impatient and negative attitude. And my friend would say, "Hey, you prayed today?" He said, "Well, let's go do it. You need to go do that." But I need that in my life today. Somebody tell me. And the day I listen, I live these rules when you leave here, the rules is they were simple for me if I wanted to live and stay sober. And when I stayed at the other house, I was a bunch of times I was the only one who went to a meeting, and Mr. Eddie or Mr. Hughes take me to a meeting. Mr. Eddie will stay or they drop me off. You always get a ride back. And you get phone numbers. They mind coming by and get you one bit off. And Aberdeen's a big recovery. So more county, a lot of recovery, and you have a lot of great friends. There ain't none I can't call and they'll come and help me, talk to me. And last Thursday, I ain't have nothing when I left here. And last Thursday, I bought a house, and me and my roommate, we've been roommates over 2 years, and me and him, he moved in with me right there by the water building. I bought a house. You didn't tell me this program and God ain't good. I didn't have nothing when I came. And but today, I'm very grateful. And then when I was sitting in that office, the day I got here, I was going through my wallet. I never even knew I had a court date. I was so out of it. I didn't care if I was going to prison or not. I was facing 10 to 15 years when I came. Wasn't even thinking about it. And I told Robert, I found that card in my wallet. I had a failure to appear. So they got it straight the next day, called my lawyer and my bail bondsman and got it straight. I went to court almost 2.5 years in the program. And I was attempting to kill on my daddy. I was going to kill him. I had all intentions of killing my daddy. I hated him. Because the reason why I hated him, I figured out, me and him would he done drugs when he stayed gone all the time, and I was over there drunk, and his friends was there, and I was talking rude and cussing and disrespecting them, and then when I cussing at him, and he got up, I knew he was going in the house and get his gun, and I took off around the building. When he came out, I shot. And I'm the one that called the laws because I had all intentions of killing him. And then when they come and got me, they didn't bother him, they locked me up. I had 3 more warrants for my arrest I never knew. And but I was facing 10 to 15 years, and then I got a year of probation, $680 fine, and that was it. And 4 or 5 months suspended. And I went through my probation. They violated me and let me off 2 months earlier because I told them I wanted to finish it. They wouldn't let me finish it. They thought something was wrong with me when I was telling them I wanted to stay on probation and finish it. That woman would just look at me every time. So they violated me with paying my money. So when they violated me, I finished paying it off and they let me off. But I got a machine in my car, and I get off February 28th, be 3 years I had my license, and I'm had it 3 years. February 28th be 3 years. DMV, they gonna make you finish that one. They ain't getting ready to hit early. But today this program, I love this program, and it's done a lot for me. It made me I can say I'm a man today. And I'm very grateful for everything. The colony, this is a special place for us to come to. I'm grateful. When I came in 2012, I always said I was going to come back, but I never did come back. And I said I was going to send my bill, I never did. And but when I came back there 2014, I wanted it. And today, I'm very grateful for my friends and everybody. I'm just happy. I just sat in my yard today and looking on the porch. I said, hey, this is just amazing, you know, what I'm been through and what I'm done and what I got today. As long as I pray and do what I have to do and make my meetings like I do and follow the rules. And I always try to get to work like 7:15. We don't start work at 8 o'clock. Well, 7:40 you clock in. But I get at 7:15. I read my book. I do my paper. I do my texting, and I pray. As long as I pray for gratitude, patience, and no attitude for the day. That's what I do every day. For the last 4 months, I do them. I don't have no attitude. I have patience, and you know, very quick. You know, you can get mad at people because people's going to be people, and I think about a lot of things before I try to say something today, because I could easily get in trouble. We're saying too much. So today I just be grateful and don't say nothing, you know, let people be people. And that's all I got today.